Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. This is Brunch Boxing. I'm your host, Matt, with a very special urgency edition of Brunch Boxing. PBC is back October 25th. Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman. We are going to get the Ezra report card today. And in order to do that, we got to bring in the host of Brunch Boxing, the host with the most, the master of the walk and talk, the master of the sit and spit, the John Madden of boxing himself, as Raw Boxing. What's going on, Ezra?
We got a really condensed show today, but I'm going to try to deliver what I usually deliver in 2 hours. I'm going to try to deliver in the whatever time frame we have today.
That's kind of energy. Is this what you tell your wife?
So I tap out. This is a good show. This is a good show. Go. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm running here, right? I'm running here, and you're trying to trip me up. I don't get it because it doesn't help the show. It doesn't help the show when you trip me up. I don't get it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
All right, let's talk about this card. It's topped off by Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman. First of all, what are your thoughts on that matchup?
There's conflicting views on it. I think if you're a guy, right, that's coming to the end, right, back nine, and you're gonna still fight, I think you should. And you say you're a top guy, you say you're still there. You should fight top guys and prove you're still there. So Keith Thurman is doing what I would ask him to do. Now, Fundora, though, when I look at him, I say, to me, there's better fights out there. To me, there's more interesting matchups out there. I don't really love this fight. Maybe it's more interesting than I'm thinking it is. Maybe it's more competitive. Matt, you think this fight's going to be competitive. I don't think this fight's going to be competitive, honestly. I think this is going to be one-way action here. Now, maybe Fundora needs the name like Thurman, and maybe that helps him. But as far as just me, a fight on paper and everything we have at 154, I don't love it. I don't love it. But there's parts of me that understand it.
Now, in the co-feature, we have the long-rumored fight, O'Shaquie Foster. He's going to defend his WBC 135-pound title against Stephen Cool Boy Steph Scooter Fulton. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
I love that fight. Stephen Fulton doesn't waste any time in boxing. He doesn't waste any time in his career. He's looking to get serious fights. He's looking to do serious things. He's looking to add to his resume. And I think Stephen Fulton versus O'Shaquie Foster is a great fight at 130. It's a great debut fight for Stephen Fulton. O'Shaquie Foster needs a name like this. He needs a relevant fight like this in a co-main event. I love the fight. I love it. This is to me, I can't have any complaints about it. I really can't. And I think that Steve Fulton, a guy I've been high on, a guy that people have been critical of me how high I've been on him, is I think that he's going to still look very impressive in this fight.
Yeah. I gotta say, so this fight, it's gotta be beautiful boxing. We can all agree on that. Both guys are really good boxers. Stephen Fulton, he looks like he's peaking again at the right time. O'Shaquie Foster, a little shaky in his last fight, but he still is a champion for a reason. So I can't wait to see the matchup. I'm wondering if this going to be a crowning achievement for Fulton, because I got to tell you, and I know it's going to sound hyperbolic, if Stephen Fulton beats O'Shaquie Foster and becomes a three-weight world champion, you could stamp his ticket to the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Oh wow! I mean, yeah, I don't think that's crazy at all. I mean, he's done a lot. He's already done a lot in sport. Yeah, so I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Like I said, I'm pretty high on Stephen Fulton. I think that a win right here will get him in the conversation in my pound for pound again, and then he would have a really good, some interesting fights after this that he could do. So I think this is a great fight. I think it's great matchmaking, and I think that something I really want to see.
Yeah, I agree. Another fight on here, we have Jesus Ramos. He's staying at 160, Ezra. He's not coming back to 154. He is fighting for the WBC interim middleweight championship against Shane Mosley Jr. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
I love staying at middleweight for Jesus Ramos. That's the right career move. And I don't get why some of these guys haven't done it sooner. But yeah, this is a great move for him. I think that with him at 160, he's one of the better guys at 160, and he could really do some damage there. Shane Mosley is a guy that, to me, has earned a fight like this. I not necessarily think that he can be competitive in this fight. I think Jesus Ramos will be too much for him, but he's a guy that deserves a fight of this attention. A guy that stood in boxing, has had his up and downs, but has gotten the best out of his career lately. like I said, I don't think expect a very competitive fight, but I think it's an interesting matchup, and I think Jesus Ramos at 160 is very, very interesting.
Very, very interesting. And honestly, I think Ramos should win, you
Oh,
know, but me, I like to fast forward, and I'm thinking a matchup with Adames, maybe a matchup with your boy Jenny Beck, maybe a matchup with Laura. There's like a lot of possibilities for Jesus Ramos, and I think Jesus Ramos coming to 160 is a very needed and necessary shot in the arm to the 160-pound division.
definitely, and he's talent. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've seen a bunch of guys at 154, and although 154 is a really jam-packed division, and there's a lot of interesting fights made there, I just think like 160 is wide open. Like, why not? If you're a guy that like Jesus Ramos, who really can't seem to get the right fight, or just needs to be a division where he can stand out, this is a division where he can stand out.
Now, opening up the card, we have Brunch Boxing alum Tony Harrison. He's going to be going up against Isaac Lucero, La Bestia. Going to be a very interesting matchup at 160. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I think Tony Harrison's past it. I get that, at his best, he can really box. He's a tricky fighter, but I think this is set up for Lucero to look good. I think that's what this fight is for, and it'll probably serve that purpose. I think Harrison's past it.
You think Tony Harrison's coming to make anybody look good, or is
No,
he coming to win?
no, he's probably coming to win, but I just don't think he has it. You know what I mean? And I just think at this point, from what I've seen from him last time, I don't expect much from him.
That's very, very interesting. Listen, I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm happy it's at 160, not 154. I would have given it a little side eyes if it was at 154, because we know from the interview that we did with Tony Harrison, he can't do 154 no more. That's not the weight for him. So at least them doing it at 160, I think gives him more of a chance. He was able to shake the rust off in his last fight. He did get knocked down late. This is what he usually does. But I do think that he can, if he can box the way we know he can box, he's going to give Lucero a lot of trouble, because Lucero is young in his career and he really doesn't have a lot of experience, especially at this level.
No, he doesn't. But would you say this is a good matchup for him to figure out that experience? All right, this will be a good matchup for him to get a kind of like a name, right, that people recognize.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to serve his purpose.
Now, overall, give us your Ezra report card for this.
It's a B. It's a B. There's notable names on there. I really like the Shaki Foster Stephen Fulton fight. Fundora Thurman is like it's just okay to me. Like I said, I get it, but there's better stuff out there. Ramos versus Mosley Jr. I don't think that's like a really competitive fight. I really don't. And
but you have been dying for Shane Mosley Jr. to get a fight.
Yeah, I think there's fights that guys that deserve that they worked enough to get a position. He was in a position to get a fight that was.
But now that he's getting a fight, you're saying you're not. I don't get it.
Well, it's just, I want him to get it for his career. I think he deserves it, but I don't necessarily have to be excited about it. Like I'm saying, like I'm interested in the fight because I know Shane Mosley, I know Jesus Ramos. I'm curious what Jesus Ramos can continue to look like at 160, but I don't necessarily think that Shane Mosley. Honestly, if it was Shane Mosley Jr. versus like Lara, I'd probably be more interested. If it was Shane Mosley Jr. like but I don't think he has a chance against Ramos. I honestly don't.
Yeah. That's crazy to me that you don't like this. If you liked Fundora versus Thurman more, what would the grade be for this card?
It'd be like a A-.
Yeah, because that's my grade. It's an A-. First of all, I love Fundora versus Thurman. And to me, the reason why you don't love it is because you don't think Thurman has a shot.
I don't.
Yeah. You don't think he has a shot.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe in Keith Thurman, and I think Keith Thurman could get the victory. I really do.
What does a victory look like for him?
To me, a victory looks like some good boxing and moving, jabbing to get on the inside, moving around to get on the inside, and an uppercut straight through Fundora's long arms.
Would you say that power would need to play an effect? Like, would he have to hurt Fundora at some point to get it?
Yeah, and he can. Keith Thurman is a heavy hitter.
Yeah, he was at one time.
Okay, when has Keith Thurman not shown power?
I don't think he's shown great power lately. I don't think he showed great power in the Mario Barrios fight.
What about the Brock Jarvis fight?
That's Brock Jarvis. We
Oh,
need
he
to stop
showed.
saying, you know what? I got to be honest with you. You know, some guys aren't first name basis. Brock Jarvis isn't two name basis. Like, we got to stop saying Brock Jarvis like that means something. Getting a W over Brock Jarvis. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, Brock Jarvis at, what was that? What was fight? Was that at middleweight?
If I say Brock, you're gonna think Lesnar. If I say Jarvis, you're gonna think Iron Man.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
we gotta
You
say
can
Brock Jarvis.
and it still don't really mean
We
much.
gotta say Brock Jarvis.
It still doesn't mean much to me. I got to be honest with you. Like, respect for him getting the ring, but it's like, I just, that doesn't mean nothing like, oh, that Keith Thurman is back. Like, no, man, they found a guy that he could look back against.
Nah, I don't agree. I think Keith Thurman is back. I think he's gonna show he's back, and he's gonna give Sebastian Fundora all that he can handle.
I would say this. I'll go as far as say this. That would be bad. If Keith Thurman, right now at this point, gives Fundora all he can handle, I think that diminishes Fundora. I think that diminishes his stock, even if he comes out winning. I think that what's best for boxing here is Fundora wins dominantly.
Okay. All right. I don't think so. I don't think so because I kind of feel like if he wins dominantly, fans are gonna think that this was a waste of time.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, either way we walk out of here probably with people, fans being negative about it, but I don't think so. I think if he wins dominantly, people are gonna be like, Fundora's a real deal.
Okay. All right. You're good. You're good. All right. Let's switch gears. Talk about something else here. This past week we put out the 10 most important boxes list. It's going crazy on social media. It's going crazy on YouTube, crazy on Twitter. Everyone hates our list, even though they don't know our criteria, but that's neither here nor there. But the official historian of brunch boxing, father of Daniel, J. Rowe, put out his 10 what makes you the least most important boxes list. Just read the list for the people, for those who don't know.
Okay, starting at number 10. If you're
Obviously.
See what I'm saying? Like, you see the rhythm part of it? You understand that, right? You get when I try to get on a roll here. At number 10, if you're signed to TKO, you are not an important fighter. At number 9.
Wait. How do you agree with that?
If you're signed to TKO, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 9, if you fight under an expensive paywall that is not pay-per-view, then you are not an important fighter in boxing.
So basically, if you fight on the zone.
Basically. Now, I'm not 100% think that that's going to hold up over time, but for right now, that is probably that's probably right. At number 8, if your prime has passed you by and you refuse to fight younger guys who can carry the next era, you are not an important fighter in boxing.
I agree, and I know you disagree because you had Canelo Alvarez on your list. Canelo Alvarez didn't make my list for that exact reason.
No, because I had Canelo Alvarez. This is okay. So I agree with that logic, but here's the thing: the flaw in it is Canelo Alvarez makes the most money in boxing. Like, he's about to make a massive payday in boxing. He's about to make people a lot of money in boxing. He's about to have one of the biggest fights. So you can't eliminate him from being important because he definitely is important. He still has.
Let me ask you a question. This event that's happening September 13th, are they going to make money off of it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Number 7. If your name is difficult to spell, then you're not an important fighter in boxing.
Agreed. 100%. 100%. And that's why my list was an all-American list.
All right.
Now, I will say, Richard Torres, be a real Latino and spell Torres with an S. What the fuck is that Z?
Wait,
what the fuck is that Z? I've never seen that before.
Oh, no. I think Z. No. What are you talking about?
I've never seen Torres with a Z.
Oh, I think you're wrong on this one. I think the Z's more Latino.
Less common.
All right. Okay. Number 6. If your name is difficult to pronounce, then you're not an important fighter in boxing.
That is true. That is true. Do you think Beck Nurmagomedov is an important fighter?
No, but I think you're choosing a guy that's not important that he has a hard name.
All right.
But
What about Bakram Murtazaliev?
okay. I get you. I get the point. But if let's say like if you, I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess you're right. Like I said, if you become so effective, that people usually give you a nickname or something, right?
Yeah, but Artur Beterbiev, no one really cares about either.
That's true. Okay, let's get to number 5. If you haven't fought in over 2 years, then you're not an important fighter in boxing.
Oh,
I agree.
that's tricky.
I agree.
That's tricky
Because
because listen, Manny Pacquiao had a fought in over 2 years, and he came back and had a lot of fanfare with him. I think if you're a name, it doesn't apply to you because you can come back and the people will be excited about your comeback. If you're not a name, Frank Martin, you need to come back right away.
what about this? What about this though? What if you haven't fought in 2 years, then how could you be important to boxing?
No, what I think he means is, well, I'm not going to assume what he means. I'm assuming that he means that if you don't fight in 2 years, then you come back. Because if you don't fight in 2 years and you haven't fought, you just retired. But if you're on your way back.
Well, I think what it is like the guys we stay talking about, they haven't been in boxing, right? Like, you know how I retire guys before they retire? I always say like, well, he's retired in my book. I think it's that. It's like guys we talk about, but you're like, well, they've been out the ring for 2 years. Like, how important to boxing are they if they've been out of the ring for 2 years? That's what I think he means, but maybe he just means, yeah, if you're coming back. I don't know. I kind of agree with you though. Like, if Floyd came back tomorrow, it'd be pretty important.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Mike Tyson came back after God knows how many years, and it was the fucking biggest event in boxing history.
Okay. If you're in your prime and ducking rematches for exhibitions, then you're not an important fighter in boxing. Oh, what's the hell about that one? You don't know nothing on that one? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, if you have the biggest fight of your career in your home region and steal the co-main to someone named Shiraz, you're not an important fighter in boxing.
I got to say, he's talking about Shakur Stevenson.
Yes, obviously.
Interestingly enough, Shakur Stevenson did not make either of our top 10s.
He did it. I think that I thought that was a stunning move, putting Shiraz and Berlanga as the main event. I mean, I think there's a space someone has recorded where I was just like, when someone told me that, I said, no, that can't be correct. So I think that was like a crazy, crazy move to do.
It was such a bad move. Ring had to switch gears and tell you there was 2 main events, and like, bro, no.
Yeah. So I think that was crazy to do. I think that Shakur could be important to boxing right now where he's at. I don't think he is currently as far as top 10. He's like honorable mention for me, but he's not to me in my top 10. Okay, number 2, if your home base doesn't have a boxing market, you're not an important fighter in boxing.
I agree.
Yeah, I do think that you do need a market. You do need see, here's like the issue with a lot of these things is they get away from like home fights like in their hometown, building fighters up and they're like regionally and then going from there. I think we're kind of getting away from that. I see that also like the UFC got away from that and that's kind of hurt them. You need to build fighters from somewhere. And then that fan base will follow them and that fan base will grow from that. So
honestly, I'm still ticked off that Abdullah Mason's not doing more fights in Ohio.
Yeah. We got away from that. I don't know why. We got away from that. That doesn't make sense. Even still, wrestling still does this, right? Like if wrestling has an event, they put the guy that's from there a main part of the card. They put him in a main segment. It's like, it's just, to me, common sense.
They don't go to India without the great Khali.
It's true. This is true. Okay. At number 1, if you fight in a country that has no boxing market, like Saudi, you're not an important fighter in boxing.
I agree.
So I agree, but there's kind of like, okay, like I said, I think Canelo's important in boxing. He won and fought in Saudi. I don't know why that happened. I think that was a horrible move. I think that was one of the worst decisions.
Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Yeah, I think it was one of the worst decisions made. I don't think that he had to do that. I think that they forced him to do. I think that the team came up with it, said, "Hey, we're going to pay all this money, go over there." But I don't think he had to do that. So Maybe if you have to do that, I agree. You're probably not important. You're not important boxing at all. If you have to go to Saudi to get a fight made, if you can't generate money for your fight in anywhere else, then you're definitely not important to boxing. But I think like Canelo, who fought there, can fight somewhere else. So I don't know why they made that decision, but he could definitely go fight somewhere else. We're about to just
Yeah, but to me, if you fight in Saudi consistently, it doesn't matter if you could sell anywhere else.
No, that's true. It's true. If you're fighting it consistently, I don't, like I said, that's more one of those things like where I just don't truly get why they would do that. I don't get the decision strategy on that. But yeah, I agree 100%. You're not going to, there was someone said, oh, well, they're building a boxing market in Saudi, right? Oh, they're putting a market there in Saudi. That's why they're taking it from the US. They're going to build one there, right? And I said, that's like saying that you have we got the NBA in Los Angeles and New York, but we're going to take it from there and put it in Toledo. And this is good because we're growing a market in Toledo. Well, it's like we already had New York and Los Angeles. Why would you take it from there? This is why I don't get strategically about going to Saudi. And that's
I agree. As it comes to making lists, how would you rate J-Roll's list?
That's a great list. That's a great list. Like I said, there's a few, of course, there's always going to be something you disagree with, but I think that's like a lot of those times are mostly true than you would say they're not. Like they're mostly correct.
We got a question from one of the listeners. Osama wants to know, what does this mean for David Benavidez? If David Benavidez has to continuously fight in Saudi, he's done.
Yeah, like I said, that's why he was lower on my list. Is one of the main reasons he was low on my list is because he's fighting in Saudi next, and a lot of his big fights look like they have to be in Saudi, right? I think that there's a way that David Benavidez could sell here, but I don't. Like I said, I think the Canelo thing really hurt him. I think it really did. The smartest thing he did was kind of like not chase that for forever, but that fight was meant to happen. That should have happened. That should have been like a big launching pad for him.
Canelo almost ruined David Benavidez the same way he ruined Triple G.
How so? I don't even get that one.
Triple G chased that fight for years.
Triple G had nothing else.
And he was pretty much done.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
How many big events Triple G put on besides Canelo?
Well, he was done because he didn't want to fight anyone after. I mean, he could have had big fights. He could have fought Charlo. He could have had fights. He chose to basically cash in with the DAZN deal and then wait for Canelo, right? Wait for the.
I think Canelo took his passion.
Nah. He became what everybody said he wasn't. He became what everybody said Canelo was. But I'm saying like he could have did some stuff. He could have had some big fights.
Okay.
All right. What are we moving on to next? Huh?
Now, we had a comment from Brick Squad. G could have. Who's G? Oh, Triple G. Could have fights, but he did. And I blame Canelo. I blame Canelo. How would we feel about J-Roll's list overall?
It's good. It's great. It's a good list. It's a very good list. I think it's a very, very good list.
I kind of feel like he was taking shots at us.
I mean, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Like I said, I know he hates you hated too, the Moses Atama, how high he is on my list because I got a number 2.
Because it doesn't make sense. He doesn't have a market.
No. But what I'm saying is like with him, like some guys are gonna break these rules. I think a lot of times what J-Roll has here are rules that are gonna be right a majority of the time. Consistently, they're gonna be right. But there's gonna be guys that just are able to break the rules. That's just the truth of it. They're able to break the rules. And I think Moses Atama is a guy that is going to capture the imagination of people. He's a guy that you're going to be like, I need to see this guy that's just knocking people out cold, who is super fast, who moves like a flyweight. I need to see this guy. And I think that he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to break these things. He's going to be the exception, not the norm, not the rule.
I don't think Moses Atama is going to capture the imagination of people. I think he's going to be a figment of people's imaginations because no one's going to see him.
All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll be here in a few years. We'll see where I'm at.
But speaking of heavyweights, Huey, hit my music. Word on the street is that a gargantuan, meat-filled heavyweight-sized slugfest is being finalized for October in the UK, O2 Arena. Your guy, Fabio Wardley, versus the WBO interim heavyweight champion, Joseph Parker.
Bro, that's
Thoughts?
a great fight. It might be my favorite fight in the schedule. That gets locked in. That's probably my favorite fight in the schedule. I kind of feel bad for Joseph Parker because I think he deserves a Usyk fight. I think Fabio Wardley's tough for a lot of guys, man, because he's just so damn explosive. He might lack some like ring IQ. He might lack some skill, some technique, but that dude's just explosive. If he catches you, it's like probably over. I think that Parker might box a really good fight and still get knocked out in this fight. I think this is just two styles of two heavyweights that are athletic, two guys that can move. There's some pop from both ends. I think Wardley has more, but I think we've seen Parker can put a guy to sleep. That's an excellent fight. I mean, that's a tough fight. And the winner of that should be no doubt like next for Usyk. No, there shouldn't be any questions. I'm really worried on what Usyk's gonna announce what's next for him. But I'm glad these guys ain't waiting around and we're gonna get a damn good fight. And that's what heavyweights kind of been delivering, just damn good fights.
I got a few questions about this fight. Is Fabio Wardley gonna give up his WBA?
Why?
Because Gustavo was very clear, the WBO is not going to do that fight.
Well, I mean, either way, I think that's a big name. That's a good fight. That's a good opportunity. I think it's the right move to take this fight, whatever the consequences are.
I would love to see the WBO make an exception and let the WBA and WBO interims be on the line. Now you have the super mandatory.
What do you rate that fight out of 10? What do you give the grade just for that fight alone? What's your grade?
10.
Plus.
Come on.
It's freaking great. Please don't put it in Saudi. Please don't put it in Saudi.
Box Red Gray says that Wardley should give up the belt. This guy hates the WBA.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but that's a damn good fight. That is a damn good fight, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for that one. I told you the Wardley was going to be a factor when we were doing things about fighters that were significant. I remember I had a list and I had Wardley on there. Remember you said, "Oh, what the hell? He's not going to." I'm telling you, man, Wardley is something to watch because that dude's really entertaining. He just got outboxed bad and knocked Huni out when he needed to. Like he's always there. Like you can't turn it off even if he's down on the cards.
You know what I love about your list? You only remember when you're right.
I do. I do. I try to blank out when I'm wrong. It's not a lot. It's not hard to do. But when I'm right, I want to make sure people know. Because the thing is, people are so quick to bury me when I'm wrong. But no one ever comes back and says, you know what, damn it, he was right. Not a lot of people do that. You know what I mean? And that's a shame because I do it when people are right. I'll be like, hey, you know what, that guy did say this when no one else said it. I do that a lot, and no one wants to wear it because my stuff takes time. It takes time to age right. But Wardley, God, I was right on that one.
Hey, Mar wants to know, is there any credence to the Atama Anderson rumors? Hey, Huey, put the Cash App up on there. Let's just flash that Cash App real quick. Hey, listen, I can have news, the notes, and rumors right to your inbox. Hit the Cash App and support me directly, and you'll get the news right then and there. Hit that Cash App.
You personally deliver?
But Mar, I'm gonna give you this one for free, Mar. No, there's no credence to those rumors, Mar. No credence at all.
I love that fight. Let's do that fight.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, it's been a quick show. That's all we got. We'll be back Saturday morning. Do you have anything for the people before we go?
No, I'm gonna miss you guys this Saturday. I apologize for missing. This will be the last Saturday I miss, and I'm gonna be back next week strong.
Yeah, he's going to be back next week. And next week, we are also going to give our top 10 reasons why J-Ro is a non-factor. Okay? Because he was taking shots at us with this fucking list. All right? But this has been another edition of Brunch Boxing. He is our COO, the Mexican Al Heyman Mike. He is our host, Asbro Boxing. I am Matt. We are Brunch Boxing, and we are out. Shout out to Huey, the producer.